Hey BookTube, Goblin here. So I thought I would do a book tag video. Been a while since I've done one of them. A little treat for you, maybe. And I thought I would do the Real Talk book tag, or Goblin Talk, if you will. Huh? I think the original video was by Books with Alyssa J. So, I'll answer some questions. So, question 1. What is something nobody told you about BookTube before you started your channel? Well, there's probably a few things. I didn't realise there were so few goblins in the community. I mean, I know there were no other goblin channels, but I thought I would inspire more to start. And I haven't. Very disappointing. But I suppose another thing is the size of the community. I hadn't really thought about it. I mean, I was aware of some of the larger channels, like Just the Reader, for example. So perhaps I thought that was the norm. I'm not sure, I can't really remember. Channel growth has certainly been slower and more difficult than imagined. And viewer engagement is less than anticipated. I don't know if that's because I'm a goblin, or if it's normal. Maybe I just don't have a very engaging personality. And question 2. What is your opinion on typical BookTube videos? These are the things like hauls and TBRs and stuff. And I think perhaps that's the most interesting question. A simple one that probably doesn't get asked enough. Well, put simply, hauls and TBRs, which are kind of often the same. You have a book haul, and then a month later, they're the books on your TBR. And ultimately, I guess I would say, I'm not that interested in what books people may read. I'm much more interested in the books they have read. So my favourite types of videos are book reviews. Dedicated one-book book reviews. But I do also like a wrap-up. But usually in a wrap-up you don't get the sort of depth of discussion about a book I want. So I guess my ideal scenario would be booktubers review their books in dedicated videos with a wrap-up, summarising those reviews and linking to them individually. And I know that's hypocritical because I don't do that. I don't do any wrap-ups. Really should. Maybe I'll try and do something like that soon, if I was a good book goblin. A more modern trend is the book vlog video, or reading vlog. I have mixed feelings about these. I like the idea of hearing a reader's thoughts about a book as they progress through the book. So their thoughts on events before they understand the consequences of those events later in the book. All very interesting, but I find a lot of vlogs are a little bit lots of filler and not enough killer. I think a lot of reading vlogs could be a bit more concise. Just some personal goblinish thoughts there. Feel free to ignore it. Question 3. What is an assumption you had about BookTube? And was it proven to be correct or not? Now, I thought that BookTube channels that break the mould a bit would be more sought after. There are a lot of BookTube channels now. New ones starting all the time, which is great to see. But they do all follow a very similar format. It's difficult to differentiate a channel from other channels that are about books. I can see that is a problem, and I don't really know what the solution is. But I do occasionally see channels that do break the mould that are different, that truly have something unique about them. And generally they are not very popular. I assumed they would be. I assumed that people would be looking for something a bit different when they're probably already subscribed to 100 BookTube channels that are all very similar. I thought that people would be more excited about something that breaks that mould. Not so much the case. Books in 5 was a good example of that. That was a channel I really, really liked, was quite excited about. It didn't seem to get as much support as I would have liked to have seen. Question 4. What is something you've done that has helped grow your channel? That's easy. Comment. Comment on other people's videos. Now I think that helps both directly and indirectly. I think through people seeing your comments, they're more likely to find your channel. But also, the single thing that has most grown my channel was Caleb, the Insane Reader, doing a bit of a video about my channel. Thanks for that if you're watching. And some of you probably found my channel through Caleb, but he found my channel through one of my comments on his video. So yeah, commenting on other booktubers' videos is probably one of the simplest and most proactive ways to grow your audience, in my experience. Question 5. What is a common mistake you see new booktubers making? And for that I'm going to say another simple answer, which is audio. I do like to seek out new booktubers, new channels to subscribe to. And quite often those early videos are barely audible. I mean, I have big ears. Good Goblin hearing. But sometimes I turn on a fresh new BookTube channel and I can't hear a word they're saying. So yeah, try to sort out your audio. Question 6. What are your thoughts on working with publishers and sponsorship and such? Overall, I think I'm probably against it. And that comes down to bias. Now, I'm not suggesting that people who do work with publishers and sponsors are lying, because lying is a conscious act. But bias can very much be unconscious. There's a fair chance that people aren't aware that they are being biased by something, but if you are working with a sponsor or a publisher, you will want to maintain that relationship. And therefore, whether you realise it or not, your thoughts are likely to be biased. I guess I do find myself mistrusting sponsored videos, but that is without judging the intent of the creator. I hope that made sense. Question 7. Do you think BookTube is dying? No. I think that people will always read books. People will want to discuss their thoughts on those books. So I think BookTube will continue for a very long time. But were the question, do I think BookTube has peaked? To that, I would say maybe. Hard to know. I'm not really sure where I want BookTube as a platform to go. I do find that channels become a little bit stale after a time, and they probably have to change and evolve to avoid becoming stale. And to do that within the limited confines of discussing books is very difficult. But when I subscribe to a BookTube channel and they start talking about things other than books, which I agree they probably have to do to stay fresh, I'm not sure I like it, because I subscribed to a book channel. I realise I'm rambling, not making much sense, but hey, it's my video. I think that you're increasingly getting popular books becoming TV adaptations. Game of Thrones is a classic example. And I think that crossover will naturally affect BookTube. Will it make it better or worse? I don't know. I think I would probably like to make videos about other things. Goblin life in general. Goblin films. Goblin video games. But since, as I've just said, I don't particularly like seeing that stuff on BookTube channels, I am loath to make such videos. Yeah. And finally, question 8, which is not a question. Tag some friends. Well, goblins don't really do friends. So, if you're a goblin, or a goblin masquerading as a human, or a human wishing they were a goblin, then I tag you to propagate this book tag. So yeah, that's my real goblinish talk video. Bye.